Dang, nabbit!
Hello folks, thank you for joining me for another episode of Gary Gets Real here on the Hook Knife Network. I'm Gary Morgan. For those of you who don't know, I used to play in a band. We were called Blackball. The band consisted of Jason Morgan on vocals, yes, we're related, Bill Williams on guitar, another cousin of mine, Frank Burris, on bass guitar, Eric Booker on guitar, and of course me on drums. Obviously, we never became the rock stars that we all dreamed of becoming, but I guess I can say we did fairly well in the local rock band category. Our set list consisted of mostly originals, with the occasional cover song thrown in here or there. We played any live gig we could get, sending us all throughout the state of Maryland, and sometimes slightly up the coast. One club in particular that we started playing frequently around 2005 and 2006 was called Max. We all really liked playing this place when they opened up. It was a pretty decent sized venue. There was a bar at one end and a high stage on the other, with plenty of room for seating and a dance floor in between. Above the stage was a nice arrangement of professional lights, and the sound system was amazing. I have to say that another big plus for Max was location. Max was located on Eastern Avenue in Essex, Maryland, just a few miles from where we all lived. That made it really convenient on those heavy drinking nights, which was just about every night. Unfortunately, Max the Club is no more. It was sold at some point, I guess, and the name was changed. I'm having a hard time remembering for sure, but I think it was called Cynics. I was okay with it because it was pretty much the same place, only with a different name. I hadn't been playing for a short time by this point anyway, due to the untimely passing of Jason. So Cynics hosted live bands quite often, and they seemed to be doing really good for a while. My wife and I even stopped in one night for a drink. Kind of a funny story. We walk in, and half the place is closed off with a rolling curtain divider, so it's basically just a typical barroom scene. Except it's a hardcore, hard rock and heavy metal barroom scene. Judas Priest was blaring from the jukebox, and the place was filled with a bunch of angry looking long-haired dudes wearing leather jackets and worn out denim. So, we get our drinks, and me, feeling a bit nostalgic, I start talking to the barmaid about the live music scene, and I try to convince her to let me get back to the other side of the curtain so I can take a look at the stage. Meanwhile, my wife Dana gets up, drops some money into the jukebox, and selects Material Girl by Madonna. I'll never forget that night. We made it out alive, and I did manage to see the stage one last time. Unfortunately, Cynics didn't last either. Their doors eventually closed and the building sat empty for quite some time. Now, I'm getting to the point of this video here, but you'll have to forgive me. My mental timeline of events is getting worse the older and crazier I get. So I can't say for sure if it's been 1 year or 2, but it doesn't seem that long ago when I noticed things going on at the old Max building. The place got a major facelift, and they even added on. I started to get a little excited, thinking there may be a club for live music in Essex once again. But you know what happened? This happened. Yes. The Dollar General now sits in the place where I played my last live show, where Blackball played their last live show. My wife had to get some things earlier tonight, and I'm not sure why I decided to go to this particular one. There seems to be Dollar Generals popping up all over town these days. It was my first time going to this one, and I'm not quite sure why, but I started recording. I had a strange feeling of sadness come over me as soon as I pulled into the parking lot. I thought about all the times we pulled into that same parking lot and loaded our equipment through the side door, playing our hearts out on that big stage under those bright lights, and also watching as our friends got together to play as a tribute to Jason after his death. Now there's this. the Dollar Frickin' General. I can't remember how much and where exactly they added to the building, but I think this just might be the wall that we stood against to take what became our last group photo. It makes me really sad to think that so many places we used to play are now gone. Places like the Vault and Fletcher's in Baltimore, the Zoo in Dundalk, and even my favorite little hole in the wall, Howl Daddy's. All local bands from Baltimore played these places back in the day, and now they're gone. Even the infamous CBGB's in New York City is no more, a place that so many people in the world knew and loved. We played there in 2000 and then again in 2001. It's a shame. Well, I've been going on for a little bit here, and I think it's time to wrap it up. Before I go, I just want to thank you for watching, and I really mean that. As I said in the last Gary Gets Real, I always worry that I don't get my point across completely. I also basically said in so many words that there is not and there will not be a basic formula to the Hook Knife Network. It's whatever happens to be going on inside of this head of mine. It may be silly, serious, funny, insightful, or just plain stupid, but it's Hook Knife. It's me. So again, thank you so much to each and everyone who is watching. I hope you come back for more.
Said you wish that you knew what you know now.
Since it was such a major part of my life, I plan on talking a lot more in depth about my time with Jason and Blackball in future episodes of Gary Gets Real. So if you're interested in hearing us, click on my oh so serious face right up there. Yep, that's me. That'll take you to my music channel where you'll find some of our stuff.